My wife cheated with my best friend for over a year. Here's how it all unraveled. It started innocently enough, a late-night project at work that required long hours and weekend meetings. As the months rolled by, the professional camaraderie with Jake, my best friend since college, deepened into something more. I never saw it coming, despite the subtle signs that now seem glaring in hindsight. Jake and I had always been inseparable. From late-night study sessions in our freshman dorm to spontaneous road trips after graduation, our friendship was the cornerstone of my social life. When I met Sarah in our third year of college, she quickly became part of our tight-knit group. She was smart, funny, and shared many of our interests, making her an easy fit into our dynamic. After graduation, life took us in different directions. I landed a stable job in marketing, while Jake pursued a career in graphic design. Despite the physical distance, we maintained our friendship through regular calls, visits, and the occasional dinner. When Sarah joined our company a couple of years later, our trio seemed complete again. Sarah and I had been married for 5 years. We had built a life together filled with shared dreams, mutual respect, and the occasional disagreement that never threatened the foundation of our relationship. We had a comfortable routine, with weekends spent hiking, movie nights, and the joy of our 2 young children, who were the light of our lives. The affair began subtly. It was during a particularly demanding project at work that Jake and I found ourselves working late more often than not. The stress was palpable, and we leaned on each other for support. What started as professional collaboration slowly morphed into late-night conversations that delved into personal territories neither of us had explored before. At first I dismissed the feelings as mere camaraderie. After all, Jake had always been a close friend, and our shared experiences created a unique bond. However, as weeks turned into months, the lines blurred. The way he looked at me, the inside jokes that no one else understood, and the unspoken understanding between us began to take a toll on my marriage. I started noticing the changes in Sarah too. She was more distant, often exhausted from managing work and home. Instead of sharing her day, she seemed preoccupied, spending more time on her phone and less time engaging with me and the kids. The imbalance in our relationship was growing, and I struggled to address it, fearing the repercussions of bringing up such a sensitive topic. The emotional turmoil was intense. On one hand, I loved Sarah deeply and couldn't imagine my life without her. On the other hand, the connection I felt with Jake was undeniable. It wasn't just physical attraction, it was an emotional bond that filled a void I hadn't realized existed. The guilt gnawed at me, knowing that pursuing this newfound relationship would hurt not only Sarah, but also Jake, who I considered a brother. Ethically, I was torn. Fidelity had always been a non-negotiable aspect of my relationship with Sarah. The idea of betraying her trust was abhorrent, yet the temptation to explore this connection with Jake was compelling. It felt like being caught between 2 worlds, each demanding a different version of myself. The affair progressed in secrecy. We would find excuses to meet outside of work, under the guise of discussing projects or grabbing a quick coffee. These meetings became the highlight of my days, a forbidden escape from the monotony of routine. Each encounter left me feeling exhilarated yet drained, as if I was living a double life that was unsustainable. One evening, after a particularly intense project deadline, Jake and I stayed late at the office. The conversation took a turn towards our personal lives, and the emotional vulnerability we shared that night sealed the fate of our relationship. It was no longer just friendship. We had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. The aftermath was immediate and devastating. The guilt overwhelmed me, making it impossible to continue the charade. I confessed to Sarah, expecting anger and heartbreak, but the reality was far more complex. She was hurt, not just by the betrayal, but by the realization that something was missing in our relationship that I had failed to recognize and address. Sarah's reaction was a mix of sadness and introspection. We sought counseling, hoping to salvage what we had built together. The sessions were painful, dredging up unresolved issues and unmet needs. It became clear that our marriage had been on shaky ground for some time, and Jake's presence had merely accelerated the inevitable. The impact on all parties involved was profound. Jake, too, was caught in the emotional fallout. Our friendship, once a source of strength, was now tainted by betrayal. We both struggled with the consequences of our actions, understanding that the damage was irreparable. For Sarah, the affair was a catalyst for reevaluating her own needs and desires. It wasn't just about the betrayal. It was about feeling neglected and unappreciated in a relationship that had grown complacent. She embarked on a journey of self-discovery, seeking fulfillment and happiness beyond the confines of our partnership. As for me, the affair forced me to confront my own shortcomings and the blind spots in my marriage. I realized that seeking connection outside of my relationship was a misguided attempt to fill a void that could have been addressed through open communication and mutual effort. The guilt and remorse were constant companions, serving as a reminder of the pain I had caused. Humor became my coping mechanism. I found myself laughing at the absurdity of the situation, recognizing the irony in seeking an affair with someone I had known for years. It was a twisted form of vengeance against my own flaws, a way to externalize the blame and make sense of the chaos I had created. Righteous vengeance also played a role in my healing process. The anger towards Jake, the best friend who had become the betrayer, fueled a desire to reclaim my life and rebuild what had been broken. It was a journey of forgiveness, not for Jake, but for myself, for allowing circumstances to spiral out of control and for not addressing the underlying issues sooner. Introspection became a daily practice. I delved into understanding why I had allowed the affair to happen, dissecting my actions and motivations. It was a painful but necessary process, leading to personal growth and a deeper understanding of what I truly wanted in life and relationships. The impact on our children was another layer of complexity. They were oblivious to the adult turmoil, but the tension at home and the emotional distance between their parents undoubtedly affected them. Protecting their innocence became a priority, ensuring that the fallout from our broken marriage didn't leave lasting scars on their young minds. Rebuilding trust was an arduous task. Sarah and I worked tirelessly to mend our relationship, redefining our boundaries and rekindling the connection that had once been the foundation of our marriage. It required patience, empathy, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. Slowly, the wounds began to heal, but the scars remained as a testament to the fragility of trust and the resilience of love. Jake, on the other hand, withdrew from our lives. The betrayal was too significant to salvage the friendship, and both of us recognized that distance was necessary for healing. It was a painful but necessary separation, allowing each of us to move forward without the constant reminder of what had transpired. Looking back, the affair was a turning point that forced me to reassess my priorities and values. It was a harsh lesson in the consequences of unchecked emotions and the importance of communication in a relationship. The journey was fraught with pain, humor, vengeance, and introspection, each emotion intertwining to create a complex tapestry of human experience. In sharing this story, I hope to shed light on the intricacies of infidelity, not just the act itself, but the emotional labyrinth that accompanies it. It's a reminder that relationships require constant nurturing, and that seeking solace outside of them often leads to more pain than resolution. The path to healing is not linear, and forgiveness both for oneself and others is a vital step towards reclaiming one's life. Ultimately, the affair was a catalyst for transformation. It dismantled the facade of a perfect life, revealing the imperfections that had always been there. Through the wreckage, I found a deeper understanding of myself and what it means to truly commit to a relationship. The journey was arduous, but it led to a more authentic and resilient bond with Sarah, one that was forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by the lessons learned from betrayal. Life after the affair was a slow process of rebuilding and redefining. Sarah and I established new routines, prioritizing each other and our children in ways we hadn't before. We made a conscious effort to communicate openly, addressing issues as they arose rather than allowing them to fester. The laughter returned, genuine and unburdened by hidden resentments. Jake's absence was a void that took time to fill. While I missed the deep connection we once shared, I knew that moving forward required letting go of that chapter. It was a bittersweet realization that some friendships, no matter how close, are not meant to last forever. The memories remained, but they were now tinged with the pain of betrayal and the lessons learned from it. In moments of reflection, I recognized the importance of self-awareness and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths. The affair was a mirror, reflecting the aspects of myself and my relationship that needed attention and improvement. It was a painful but necessary wake-up call, urging me to take responsibility for my actions and their impact on those around me. Humor, once a shield against vulnerability, became a bridge to healing. I learned to laugh at the absurdity of my mistakes, finding solace in the shared human experience of imperfection. It was a way to connect with Sarah on a deeper level, acknowledging our flaws and embracing the journey of growth together. Vengeance, initially a response to betrayal, transformed into a drive for self-improvement. Instead of dwelling on anger and resentment, I channeled that energy into becoming a better partner and father. It was a way to reclaim my sense of self-worth and demonstrate to Sarah that our relationship was worth fighting for. The introspection that followed the affair was a journey into the depths of my own psyche. I explored the reasons behind my actions, the unmet needs that led me to seek connection elsewhere. It was a process of healing, understanding, and ultimately, forgiveness. Forgiveness for Sarah, for Jake, and most importantly, for myself. The impact on our children, though indirect, was significant. They sensed the tension and the emotional distance, prompting conversations about love, trust, and resilience. We navigated these discussions with care, ensuring that their innocence remained intact, while teaching them valuable lessons about the complexities of relationships. As time passed, the wounds began to heal, and the scars became symbols of resilience. Sarah and I emerged stronger, our bond fortified by the trials we had endured. The affair, once a source of immense pain, became a catalyst for positive change, propelling us towards a more authentic and fulfilling relationship. In sharing this story, I aim to provide a glimpse into the messy, painful, and ultimately transformative journey that infidelity can trigger. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the capacity for growth even in the darkest of times. Relationships are intricate tapestries woven with love, trust, and shared experiences, and when they are tested, it's the strength of these bonds that determines their fate. The affair taught me the importance of vigilance and the necessity of addressing issues head-on rather than allowing them to fester. It reinforced the value of open communication, mutual respect, and the need to prioritize the relationship above all else. These lessons have become the foundation upon which Sarah and I continue to build our lives together, ensuring that our relationship remains strong and unshakable. In the end, the story of the affair is not just about betrayal and heartbreak. It's about the journey towards self-discovery, the strength found in forgiveness, and the unwavering commitment to love and rebuild. It's a reminder that even in our most vulnerable moments, we have the capacity to rise above our mistakes and create a future filled with hope, understanding, and enduring love.